All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. And this is going to be a lesson on how America is going to receive the same judgment as Babylon the Great, because it is, right? And when you read about Babylon the Great in the scriptures, you find out that it's a place that pretty much had control over giving rich, making other places in the world rich. And I'm going to read it anyway. It was a place that everyone desired to try and replicate. It was a place that had tricked other nations into thinking that its ways were the best ways to be like, but it was actually corrupt. And let's go to that first, in fact. All right, this is Revelation chapter 17 and verse 5. And upon her forehead, in fact, in verse 4, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and the filthiness of her fornication. And what's came out with these files, right, is all the things that they was doing, all these dark works, man, which are not no surprise, right? These things are not no surprise to us. Like, we've been known that there's just something ain't right about you Edomites, man. But we before we knew that you were the Edomites, we just couldn't really put our finger on what it was that was sickening about you people, right? But when we look in your eyes some of the time, and we can just see, well, I can anyway. When I look in you Edomites' eyes, I can see the conniving nature of you people, and that you've got some dark, twisted thoughts in your mind, right? That really would deserve heavenly judgments for just for even thinking that madness, right? But it's only just now starting to be revealed how sick you people are. The true sick, dark nature of you people, of you wicked freaks, is only just being exposed, man. How sick you all are. You're sick in the head. And here's what I want to say as well in this lesson. Files or no files, you all get in Obadiah chapter 1 verse 18. Whether you was on them files or not, that don't mean that you ain't wicked. That just means you ain't on them files. Because I bet you on Yahweh's files that he's got about you, though. You might have skipped being on those files because you weren't high enough in rank as an Edomite and all that, right? But I bet you on Yahweh's ones, though, that he's got a case file on all you Edomites. And it says the case file that Yahweh's got on you Edomites is this. let's go to it, man. Let's get the end goal of Edom, man. What does the scripture say? Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 18. The house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau a stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh have spoken it. So whether you was on the files or not, it don't matter. You still are wronging, right? Whether you're on the files or not. I don't care if he was on the files. None of the other Hebrew Israelites don't care if he was on the files. But most importantly, Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, don't care if he's on the files. This is the judgment for all Edomites, man. Because you're all the vessels of wrath, fitted to destruction. You literally was made to bring wrath upon the Israelites. That's what your purpose on earth was. To every single time, just punish the Israelites. That's what you was made for. Y'all ain't righteous, so stop fronting. Y'all are wicked. And you can't be anything else but that. America's Babylon the Great, and it's going to receive the judgment of Babylon the Great because it is Babylon the Great, right? And all you people out there that want to say, nah, it's not. Well, when it gets the judgment of Babylon the Great and becomes a place that gets destroyed off the earth forever, what are you going to say then? How are you going to explain that America received the judgment of Babylon the Great? How are you going to explain why America received exactly the same thing that a place in the Bible was prophesied to receive if America was not that place? How are you going to explain that away? Revelation chapter 17 and verse 5, and upon her forehead was written, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And how can you not say that's America? How can you not say that America has not been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, as it says in verse 4 of Revelation 17? And the place that's got harlots in there, the mother of harlots. Come on, man. The biggest holes you're going to see are in America, man. When you see these street interview guys that be doing these street interviews when women be drunk on the street and all that, and the nightclub scene, right? Them seem like some of the easiest women that you'll ever see in your life, bruv. You're even talking about eating men's booty hole and all kind of crazy shit. Getting asked, what's one thing that your ex doesn't know about? Oh, he doesn't know that I slept with his mom and his dad and his brother. Like, they be saying all kind of madness, man. Or what's one thing that your mom and father don't know about? My mom doesn't know that I this and that, and it just some crazy ass stories, man. Most of the people that been going over and getting a Dubai Harry Potter, right? A Dubai Nutella mold syndrome, right? Getting Nutella on their head by some Arab, some chic Arab in it. Most of them are coming from America, and trust me, if that's happening in Dubai, it's happening in America. You think that ain't happening in Vegas? Viva Las Vegas. You think Viva Las Vegas ain't got its own Harry Potter syndrome out here, where people are getting Nutella on their head? You think it ain't? The place where I heard about this wicked ass thing of a Glock dookie, that came from Jake's in America. A Glock dookie, like that's just wicked. A Glock dookie. Are you kidding me? Like when one of the brothers over from here, the UK, when they mentioned that they came across that, I was like, what the hell is this? And then I looked it up and I was like, man. But that came from the prison systems in America. A Glock dookie. You understand? This world's sick, and most of the sickness, right? Like let's just put it like this here. Let's say that the Earth is the whole planet is a body, right? The whole planet. If the whole planet was a body, right, and the body's sick right now, guess what, man? The root of the sickness, the cancer, if you was to say that, of this whole Earth, would be America. That's the place that's making everyone sick. And then if you was to go further within the cancer of America, you have to look deeper at a more deeper cellular level, and you'll see, oh, hang on, we've put you through an MRI, we've put you through a PET scanner, right? We've did an X-ray, we've did a CT scan, and we've realized that there's an Edomite there. There's an Edomite in the earth, so it's sick. And okay, if you get rid of America, Babylon, let's just say that Yahweh was to just get rid of them. Like, let's say just America was to be destroyed, right? That still ain't enough, man, to get rid of the sickness of this earth. You still would have to get rid of the Edomites. And that's why, right? Listen up, man. The beginning of cleansing this earth is America's got to go first. This is what's prophesied. America's got to go first, because that's the biggest. And I heard Apostle Gabar explain it in a way, like, he said it in a certain way, man, and it made me like think about to do this video. He said something like, America's like Esau's number one like place, man. He said it's something along those lines, and I think he was going based off this scripture here, which I'm gonna go to now. But the way he said it, man, and it made me think this thought, that America is Esau's number one idol, right? Based on what I heard Apostle Gabar saying that thing, I was like, yeah, man, America's Esau's number one idol. Like, they've got Jesus and all of that. Jesus is one of their top demons, that fake Jesus spirit that, oh, he loves everyone and all this. But really, America's the number one idol. Because the moment that they start talking, they're like, what place can you live like what you can in America? That's the first thing they're going to go to. Yeah, but how can you live in? And then the moment you start complaining about America, they tell you, oh, go somewhere else, then go somewhere else. And even all you Jakes in America, outside of the ones that are the hopeful elect, your complaints, as much as you have complaints about America, you still want to live there, though. Even though I'm going to go back to Africa, or this mama Africa, or the black woman is God, or you black woman is God people, you still all want to go back, don't want to go back to Africa and want to stay in America. And that's where this FBA thing came from, really. Because you want to try, is it true that so-called black people been in America for a long time? Even before Atlantic slave trade? Yes, I believe that. But the reason why I like to claim FBA is because you want America. You like everything that's in America. You just don't like your position in it. You like the American way. You just want to be in the higher position of the American way. You don't care about how the American way actually is a dog eat dog society, that if you ain't built right, you're gonna just be broke and a bum. You don't care about that. You just want to have a higher position in it, man. And know that if you got treated fairly within that system and they didn't actively try and break you down, that your rank would increase and you'd end up at the top. But the destiny of America is for it to be destroyed, because America is going to receive the judgment of Babylon the Great, because it is Babylon the Great, right? And America is Esau's number one idol. And going further, like I said before, in order for this earth to be cleansed, it has to start with Esau's top weapons being destroyed. His main top weapon right now is that of America, right? America's the main source of Esau's power. Okay, the Edomites say all these other different places on the earth, but America's the main source of their power. And I'm going to read a scripture that proves why I believe that. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency, which this is going into the Edomites right now. That when it refers to the Chaldees, which are like a rank, it's like a ranking system, like the wisest. So this is referring to Esau's wisest right now when it's talking about these Chaldees. Shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, right? America is the beauty of Esau's excellency. When it's speaking about these Chaldees, if you just replace that word with Esau, right, and Babylon, so if it was to say America, the glory of kingdom which it is right now, the beauty of the Edomites' excellency shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, because that's the place that's been Esau's main idol, man, and it's going to receive the judgment of Babylon the Great, because it is Babylon the Great. Verse 20, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arab pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherd make their fold there. People ain't gonna be living there, man. It's just gonna be crazy different animals that can manage living in a strange, dark habitat that humans can't even manage living in. They're gonna be able to live there, right? Yahweh's gonna pull out some of his creations that people don't even know about, and some of them things are gonna be living there, man. As well as some of the animals that already exist that can live in them kind of drought-riddled environments. But like I said, man, America is Esau's main idol, and if the earth is a body, right, and you consider, man, how do like I'm sick, you coughing, you thinking what about all this, thinking what the hell is going on, and you're thinking, oh, it's just a muscular injury, or it's just, oh, I've just got a bit of sniffles, and then you get put in through physical assessment, right, and then you start realizing, man, but you've got this place in your body called America, and it's sick and it's riddled. So you're like, okay, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that America thing, and then you cut that tumor out of the earth, yeah, because America's going to get destroyed, right? So America's not going to exist on the earth anymore. Does that mean that the earth's completely cleansed now because America's gone? No. Esau needs to go, right? Now let's go to the next chapter, Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 3. And it shall come to pass in the day that Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from thy hard body wherein thou was made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how have the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? Yahweh have broken the staff of the wicked, and the scepter of the rulers. Now, part of the scepter of the rulers was America. Now, since I've started reading this, I'm going to go a bit back in time from what's going to lead to this situation here. Let's go back a little bit, right? Let's go while after Babylon's, because Babylon's going to be destroyed first before those kind of things are going to be said. But part of the scepter of the rulers is America. That's the place that's been smoting everyone. That's the place that smote the people with a continuous stroke. That's the place that's got the power of the sword going on, right? That's the place. That's the place that's done most of the madness. Let me see this, man. Now let's go verse 18, Revelation chapter 18 and verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and becoming the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Now, the merchants of the earth have been waxing rich through America. America is the place that's been doing all this, right? And I heard a voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that you be not partaker of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. And this is a warning for the children of Israel. Remove your mindset from the ways of America. Don't start looking at the American way like it's for you. Forget the American dream, man. Right? So that you don't become a partaker of the plagues that it's going to receive, which is to be to go through what Sodom and Gomorrah went through. And you can sigh and cry, oh no, it shouldn't have to happen like that. It's happening. It's gonna happen. It's already happened, right? In Yahweh's eyes, this has already happened. There's not no way that no man on earth can make this not happen now. It's already gonna happen. Yahweh said it was gonna happen, so really, it's already happened, right? It's just that we ain't seen it yet. Yahweh's already seen it's gonna happen. Yahweh already knows how it's gonna look like. We're the ones that are gonna be surprised. We're the ones that are unsure what it's gonna look like. We know it's gonna happen. We got faith it's gonna happen, but we're not. We don't know how exactly, like what it's gonna look like. But it's already happened, really, man. Let's carry on. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh remembered her iniquities, all the dark things that they were doing, man. All these things that are coming out in these files. How the hell you gonna have some 3 million pages taken out of your documents, man? How the hell are you gonna have 3 million pages taken out of some files? Now it says 3 million pages. Now 1 second, I'm gonna go get one of my Bibles, and I'm gonna count how many pages it says that's in that Bible. I'm gonna find my biggest one where the prints are bigger, a bit bigger or whatever. 1 second. So I just had a look at my biggest Bible that I've got, right? Where the ink's a bit bigger. It's a New King James Version Bible. And it says that New King James Version Bible has got 762 pages in there. How much heavy information is in the Bible from 762 pages? It speaks, when it's referring to Yahweh Shai, that there were so many other things that Yahweh Shai did, the which, if it should be written in the earth, the world shouldn't be able to consider what was written in them. But it's coming like Esau's trying to compete with that for how much wickedness he did. 3 million pages. And that's from one island. Yeah, understand me? That's from one place. What about another island and another wicked ass Edomite's files and all the bribery that Edomite would have going on, man? That's one Edomite. That's one Edomite's diary of all the wickedness. What about another Edomite? What about how many files would another Edomite have, man? Yet y'all want to try and talk about some black fatigue. Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? Black fatigue with all the stuff y'all got going on. The hell are you on about? They're talking about fatigue. That you're tired of us. You're tired of us, yeah? Are you kidding me? Black fatigue. You got some nerve, man. Verse 6, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which you have filled, fill to her double. Now I'm gonna jump down, man. Right? Verse 8, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is Yahweh that judgeth her. And this is gonna be, America's gonna get judged in this way, man. It's gonna be burnt with fire from ICBMs, right? And because that's one of Esau's biggest idols, and it contained within that place, it contained a certain spiritual level of manipulation, man. America existing as a place and all the witchcraft that took part to make that place exist, right, has actually, like it says in the scriptures, it's a golden cup that's in Yahweh's hand that Esau's used to make the nations drunken, to make the world drunken. When that place is destroyed, it's like a spell that Esau had over people is going to be broken. A certain level of protection that Esau has is going to be broken from this place being destroyed. That's what's going to happen, right? America's so important to Esau because there's a certain spirit that America gives that makes all so-called white people really be treated in a certain way. They all get treated a certain kind of way, and people kind of treat them with a bit more respect because of America. It's not because of the land of Israel why they're getting respect right now. That people think they're so right. You know, it's because of fear from the sword and from military might that they know it comes from America ultimately. And that's why really every single Edomite all around the world don't really care about America being wicked as long as if they was to live there. if it, like, eventually they'll be like, oh yeah, okay, things that America doing are dumb, but like I'd live there. Like they don't really care. They all sucking from America's titty in some way or the other, man. But they're gonna eventually turn against that place because they're gonna realize that the place is a problem. But when at the same time, they're all gonna regret doing it too. So they're gonna, like, that's how you know Esau's bugged out, because they're gonna be the ones that destroy it, but they're also gonna be the ones that are gonna be crying that it's been destroyed. Verse 10, and the kings, verse 9, and the kings of the earth who committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, which people are going to see that, right? It's going to be seen for people's eyes, man. Standing afar off for fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas. And in fact, you know what? Based on that smoke of her burning thing, right? I remember there was a time where people were saying, oh, the sun in the skies, like, was looking like this. There was a time where the sun in the sky was looking mad red and weird, man. And people was like, oh, it's from the sand. It's because of sand from one next place or whatever, right? And at the time back then, I was like, oh, that's BS, right? But it could be that that was actually true. Now that doesn't change what the scripture said was going to happen with the sun, in according to the Bible, right? But when America gets destroyed, will we in different places that we are, or well, not we, because hopefully we'll be in the chariots, right? But like, will people that wherever they are on the earth end up seeing the smoke from America literally with their eyes, man? With how one country's just gonna get jacked up like that, will the smoke from America end up being seen and spreading out through all the world, man? Because the earth's big, but it ain't that big that it's gonna not notice the smoke of a whole country being completely eviscerated, especially when America's a big place. Right, let me carry on. Verse 10. Stand in the fire for fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And when you go read this next bit here, it goes into all the things that America had in it, and I'll read some of it. And the merchants of the earth shall weep, verse 11, and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. Now, who buys more merchandise than America? Who's richer than Americans, man? I've watched a couple of these property YouTube channels and when I've been seeing these houses that I got in America, $350 million house, $250 million house, and I'm like, man, you can't see that kind of house. You will not see that kind of house in the UK. You won't see it. You will not see that kind of house in the UK, because the UK doesn't have beaches and all these nice weather. The weather over here is dead. Like, having a £250 million house in the UK is kind of a waste of time, because the environment's not like that for you to be having that kind of, you know what I mean? The UK ain't like that, and that's why then when in the seasons where the weather's the nicest in the UK, most of the people in the UK that have the money to travel and go on holidays always do, right? They always leave the UK and go somewhere nice that's got beaches and all kind of things. They don't spend that kind of money on a holiday in the UK because it would be a waste of money. Whereas if you was to go and spend a 10 grand on a holiday abroad somewhere, that's going to be hella like 2-3 weeks, and you'd be doing something every single day that's fun. Spend that in the UK, mate, that might be 1 week, man. This place ain't that. But if you was to do it in America, you could have a hell of a good time based on what's in America, not based on America because it's right, based on what's there. 10 grand could get you a decent time over there, I would assume, man. Because America's that place that you can spin up, man. It's the spin up place. There used to be a thing over here where people from the UK would always take their money and, oh, the exchange rate's more. You end up with more money when you go to America, and they want to always go to America, buy clothes in America, then come home and go spend up their money there, man. Because America's that place that's got that. It's not the UK. They ain't no UK dream, man. The UK is really kind of poor, to be honest with you. But let's carry on. Verse 12. The merchandise of gold and silver. You see all these athletes wearing their big up chains. That's in America, man. The UK rappers and all that, the UK rap. And when they be trying to have their chain, and then when they go around the American people with their chains that do the same kind of music and all that, their chains don't look the same. A UK rapper's chain don't look the same as a USA's rapper's chain, man. It don't look the same. The best UK rappers chain looks as good as the worst US rappers chain. Gold and silver, precious stones, diamonds and pearls and fine linen, purple and silver and scarlet and fine wood and all manner of vessels and all manner of ivory, all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of precious wood and of brass and of iron and marble. When you watch some of them, when I watch some of them, or if you watch some of them property shows, you'll see these things, man. They have all these marble walls in the house and marble countertops in the kitchen, just a whole slab of it slapped right in the house. That's a table, heavy as hell. That ain't in really the UK like that, man. It might be in some houses in London somewhere or something, but it ain't just everywhere. America's got that in all the different cities of it, man. That place has just got way more than everywhere else. 20,000, damn near different Snickers bars, 20,000 different Skittles, 20,000 different Smarties, thousands of different cereal boxes down one aisle, donuts with this in it, donuts with that in it, like all kind of different crazy flavors of all different kind of foods, man. Whereas in the UK it might be two flavors of a certain thing, but in America there'll be 20 different flavors of the same thing, 20 different types of vanilla ice cream, right? Where it's to the point where it's pointless. America's got so much going on. That's where do you think they're coming with donuts for the burger baps? A donut burger, two glazed Krispy Kreme donuts in a burger bun, pancakes for burger buns, chicken for burger buns, a chicken burger with chicken for the burger bun. Like they be just running out of making up ideas. That's how much luxury they got going on. They be making up shit, man. All the food challenges they be coming from America. America's got all kind of crazy food challenges. Or if you eat the food, this big ass meal in 40 minutes, you get to get it for free and you get a T-shirt. That's America. There's now are these things in the UK, yeah, but there's way more abundance of it in America though, right? Because America's that place that's got that spirit of buying and selling, right? Verse 12, and the merchants. Oh, I read that already. Oh, let me read the bottom part. And all manner of vessels of precious wood, and of brass, and of iron, and iron and marble, and cinnamon and odors, and ointments, and frankincense and wine, and oil, and fine flour, all the different foods that I got going on up in there, man. And beast, like when I watch them food channels and that, like there's one guy, one Jake on YouTube and that, right? And he just got some like YouTube channel where I think he lives in New York, and he's got a YouTube channel where he just tastes exotic fruits from around the world. And I found out through that channel that there's fruit that tastes like there's strawberries that look white that taste like pineapple. There's fruits that taste like peanut butter. Fruits that taste like chocolate mousse. Right? All different kind of fruits, man. All different kind of weird shaped bananas and all this. But I found out that through a channel from a Jake in YouTube on YouTube in New York. I ain't seen them fruits in the UK. I ain't ever seen no white strawberries in the UK that taste like pineapple. I ain't never seen that. I ain't seen that. I'd want to taste those, but I ain't seen that though. But he can just taste that from over in the US because it's got all those crazy foods and fruits, all the different luxuries, man. And wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and soldiers, man. And that's why I said that trust me and believe that these dark things that they're talking about that be happening in Dubai is happening in America too, more than it's happening anywhere else. By the way, and the fruits which I mentioned that as well, and the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee. Because fruit's nice, man. Like if you eat some real tasty fruit, man, you can forget about sweets and chocolate, right? Eating fruits that Yahweh made and designed is way more comforting to the soul than eating those things, right? You eat some tasty grapes, not no dead ones. Like the taste, when you get a good batch of grapes, man. Although in this world, even when you say a so-called good batch of grapes, they'll still be seedless anyway. If you eat a good batch of grapes, right, that feels way more comforting than chocolate and all them kind of things. It feels good. A crunchy apple, right? some dates, some pineapple, some mango. And if you get a nice tasting mango, or some nice plums that are sweet and sour at the same time, right? That are just the right consistency, man. And the fruits that are so lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which are dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more. All America ain't gonna have none of that stuff in there, man. It's gonna all be destroyed. That land is never gonna have any of the things that it had there before. And the Israelites are gonna make sure that that's the case. We're gonna be in charge of making sure that no one even thinks, which it won't be able to be done anyway, but we're gonna be in charge of making sure that nobody even thinks to try and be like, nah, we're gonna resurrect Babylon. Nah, you ain't. That land's cursed, man. That place ain't never getting to see enjoyment in it ever again. They ain't gonna ever be a person that gets to say that America's home ever again, man. And the elect to the nation of Israel, beginning with Yahweh Shai, are gonna make sure that that's never gonna happen, man. Because that was the main symbol of our oppression. That was the scepter that they was beating us down with, man. That was the scepter of the rulers, really. That was at the root of the scepter of the rulers that was crushing us down, man. Verse 15, and the merchant of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? And when they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness, from 1 hour, so great riches is from 1 hour, she's made desolate. And America is a costly place too. From what I be hearing when I be watching some of these property things and all that, people be complaining about the rent price, all that, because it's a costly ass place, man. You have to have some bread to be really able to manage to live up in them kind of places, man. Or you'll just be struggling. You have to pay for everything over there, man. You get a little bit sick, you gotta pay every damn thing, man. The place is sick in the head, man. And that's why it's gonna be destroyed. And that's why even the civilians over there, man, Yahweh's not gonna have mercy on the civilians when he brings the destruction. It's not just only the so-called wicked elites that are gonna get jacked up if they're still over there. No, it's all the wicked ass citizens that were just as demonic as them, man. They're gonna get the judgment too. Because they don't really care about all the wickedness that America's doing, as long as their lives get to be better and they get to have the so-called American dream. They don't care. They don't give a damn. Verse 20, Rejoice over her, thou heaven and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God have avenged you on her. And now I'm going to go to Isaiah 14, man. Because after America's been destroyed, people are going to be talking about America like this. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 3, and it shall come to pass that Yahweh shall give, and it shall come to pass in the day that Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from thy hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, How have the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. How is the golden city of Babylon ceased? How is it not? How comes it don't exist anymore? Yahweh's talking about God's going to bless it, right? So how comes and you were saying America is not Babylon the Great? So how come it received the judgment that Babylon the Great is going to receive then, and nowhere else has received that judgment? You got to explain it to us, Mr. High IQ, oh holy high IQ'd one. Use your high IQ to explain this, right? Explain how this has came to be. And you said that we are the Israelites, so explain how we're in the position that we're in, and you're in the position that you're in, Mr. High IQ'd one. You explain that to me. Use your high IQ and explain why you're where you are, yeah? And why we are where we are. You pull that out of somewhere. You pull out your high IQ and explain that to us right now. That's how we're going to be talking to you. People think that Simon Cowell and Gordon Ramsay are bad when they're talking down to people. We can, trust me, man, a Jake can talk down to you and make you feel bad about yourself worse than any other nation, man. If there's one thing that Jake knows how to do, is to talk smack. Do you know what I mean? If there's one thing Jake knows how to do, boy, it's talk reckless. You understand? And I feel sorry for you heathens as well. When the Israelite woman is going to be talking down to you, mocking you as well, because the Israelite woman's going to get her chance on you Edomites as well, man. And I know you nation, she's going to be, because she's caught her hell down here too, man. We get on her and we bun her out because she's being a demon right now. But guess what? The time's going to come when she's not going to be a demon. She's going to be our right hand. Whereas right now she's been Esau's right hand, but in the time to come, she's going to be our right hand, man. And she's going to be righteous as well. And she's going to be have the spirit on her. And she's going to come up with, tell us ways and how we can further judge you wicked ass heathens, man. Yahweh's going to give her a chance to get some of her lick back as well from what people's doing to her, man. And she's going to remember that you wicked scumbags tricked her into thinking that we were the problem. And she's going to want her 5 pounds of flesh, man. And it's all going to be sanctioned by the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and by his son, Yahweh Shai. Don't shoot the messenger. Whether you like it or not, it's going to happen. Right? I could say, I love you. I could say right now, which I'm never going to say this, but let's just say I was like, I love Esau. God don't hate white. God, I don't hate Esau. God hates Esau. I could say all that BS. It don't matter whether I love you or not. If Yahweh hates you, he hates you. But guess what? Why would I not hate what Yahweh hates though? Wouldn't that make me stupid? Right? Let's carry on reading these blessed scriptures, man. let's carry on reading these blessed scrolls of prophecy, man. And get down to the root of what's going to happen to these scumbag Edomites. Verse 4, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how have the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. How is it? Why is it don't exist anymore, man? The Lord have broken a step. Yahweh have broken a staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. Where's the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers, man? America. That's the beginning of it, man. That's where its power came from, really. That's where Esau's power came from. Its power ain't really been through Russia. Its power ain't really been from the UK. America was where Esau really started getting it shaking, man. And was able to make his image look blessed around the whole earth. It was America. Them small hats in the land of Israel right now, they're supposed to be the chosen, right? Yet all of their roots of, all the root of whatever they do comes from America all the time. Why is that? Verse 6, he who smote the people in wrath with a continuous stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hindereth. Because after people see, man, America's been destroyed, and no one came looking for revenge for it, there ain't going to be another nation that ends up getting the same thing as America. Like, oh, you destroyed America. Those were our brothers. Ah! And then they just go and do the same thing, looking for revenge. No, they're not going to care. And they're going to be like, man, we need to, like, they ain't going to, listen, they ain't going to have the chance to even retaliate because Yahweh Shai is coming back at that same time, man. They're going to have too much going on. They're going to have to start fighting Yahweh Shai after that's done. And then they're going to get smoked, dusted off. And then they're not going to the swords are going to start getting destroyed after that. All the weapons of warfare are going to get destroyed. So all the ability to even bring that level of destruction ever again on the earth is going to be taken away. We're going to take away the ability for them to ever make that again, man. They ain't going to get the chance. Now, other places on the earth are going to get a little taste of it, but they ain't going to get the full Babylon the Great dosage. But they're going to get a little taster, a little starter, you know what I mean? But America's getting the main course, the starter, the dessert, an aperitif, you know what I mean? A wine, and a takeaway bag to go home with, man. America's getting all of it. A full party of destruction America's going to get, man. Verse 7, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. So by America getting destroyed, the whole earth's going to be at rest. But that's not enough, though. Because it goes on, and let's jump to it. Right? Let's jump to it, man. Verse 18, all the kings of the earth, even all of them lie in glory. And this is talking about after America's been destroyed, after the 1,000 year, the first 1,000 years, the first day of the kingdom of heaven, the 1,000 years, where the Israelites have truly established their place on the earth and undid all the wickedness that Esau did. All the kings of the earth, even all of them lie in glory, even one of them in his own house, they all realize, listen, man, the Israelites are really going to be ruling forever. All that thing, like I've heard Apostle Tahar say, where the average kingdom lasts 250 years. Well, if anyone tries to apply that to us, they're going to realize that that's not the case for us 4 times in our kingdom in the first 1,000 years. If they start getting gassed up, see, it's 249 years into this new Israelite kingdom now, and you know what they say? Every 250 years, there's a new kingdom that comes over. They're going to be sadly disappointed. And then when it comes around again, 250 years, you know what they say? I was wrong the first time, but you know what they say? Every 250 years a king. No, that don't apply to us. That was for you, like you lot, man. That don't apply to us. It's gonna be, you can count 250 million years, and our kingdom's still gonna be around. And guess what? The founders of that kingdom, Yahushua, and the elected nation Israel, they're gonna still be around. The same people that said, like, this is how heavy it is, This is crazy to say, but it's gonna be true. The same people, the same Israelites that witnessed Babylon the Great be destroyed, are going to be the same Israelites that are going to be there for the whole 1,000 years of the kingdom, and continuing on afterwards as well. Verse 18, and all the kings of the earth, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial. So when everyone else starts celebrating, right? If if when Moab starts celebrating, like, yay, we're gonna finally get our Moabite kingdom and start being able to go to Moab land and start thinking about these laws of Yahweh and build up our thing in the ways of the Israelites, yay. And then the Ishmaelites start thinking, yeah, we're gonna go to Ishmaelite land and do the same thing. And then Hamites start thinking, yeah, we're gonna go and do our Hamite thing under these laws as well. Esau, you ain't gonna be, if any one of these nations sees Esau celebrating, like, yeah, and we're gonna go to Mount Seir and we're gonna build a path thing, they're gonna look at you like, no, what are you celebrating for, man? Why are you celebrating? You ain't gonna be doing that. What you on about? Obadiah, remember? You ain't going down to do that. And they're all gonna be like, forgetting that, not even worried that they're not Israelites. They're gonna be like, I don't care that I'm not Israelite. At least I ain't Esau. I mean, like, at least I ain't an Edomite. Just like how right now in this world, you got some of these nations that they wish there was a so-called white man, but then they get comforted that they're not. They get comforted that they're not a so-called white man by being like, well, at least I don't get treated like those niggas. That's how it is. Now, this is a dark truth, but this is how it really is. Everyone always knows that we get profiled by the police in a different way, even though we don't commit crimes more than anyone else, even though that's just where they try and pull it out there. But people different heathen nations get comforted in this world by, well, at least I don't get treated like those niggas. They're not gonna say that to us, but that's what it is though. That at least they don't treat me like a so-called black man. Well, in the future, people are gonna be like, well, at least they ain't one of them Edomites. At least they ain't an Esau. And you know what's heavy? This is what's heavy, man. I just thought about this as I was talking, and I'm gonna read this verse. No, you know what? I'm gonna get this point out there. America's gonna be destroyed, right? Because America was Esau's number one idol, and yet the land of Esau is not gonna be destroyed and it's gonna be given to the Israelites. Don't you think that's heavy? Because I think that's heavy, right? We're gonna get given that land. Yet America, and that's how you know that America's been more of a catalyst to Edomite supremacy than the land of Israel. Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 19, and they of the south, which is Judah, shall possess the mount of Esau. So the land of Esau is going to the Israelites. Like the actual real land that actually is theirs. And guess what? We're going to turn that into something that is going to be righteous. What's that really mean, man? If the Israelites are going to be able to turn, when you read the scriptures, right? When you actually read the scriptures, you find out that the land of Israel, and I'm going to get that scripture as well, right? You find out that the land of Israel is going to be like the Garden of Eden, right? So let's go to that first quickly, because I'm gonna bring out a point that shows you just how much of a demon Esau is, man, right? Ezekiel chapter 36, Ezekiel chapter 36 and verse 35. Thus saith Yahweh power, in the day that I have cleansed you from all your iniquities, I will also cleanse you. I will also cause you to dwell in the cities, and the waste shall be builded, and the desolate land shall be tilled, whereas it will lay desolate in the sight of all that pass by. And they shall say, this land that was desolate is become like the Garden of Eden, and the waste and desolate ruined cities are become fenced and are inhabited now. Because the Israelites are going to be given the land of Esau as well, that's going to really become part of the land of Israel, man. Now, it's saying that the land is going to become like the Garden of Eden, and that includes the prophesied land that the Israelites are going to receive. So this lets you know how much of a demon Esau is, because if he was actually righteous, right, and cared about the laws of Yahweh, whatever we are going to do, which granted it's spiritual, right? And Yahweh put spiritual curses, can put spiritual curses on land. Granted, that's true, right? So that's really the reason why the land of Edom that we're going to now receive, and it's going to become the land of Israel, mainly the land of Judah. It's a spiritual thing first and foremost. But whatever the Israelites are going to do that's physical, and what our slaves are going to do that's physical in the land to make it be righteous under our tutoring and mentoring, right? Under our guidance. Why could Esau not have did that? In the most carnal way? Why couldn't Esau have did all those things that he does? Why couldn't Esau have did everything that he wants to do in America right now? Why couldn't he have just did it in the land of Edom? All the things they're doing right now. Like, even they've got America now, right? Why couldn't they set up the ability to do the same things right now and do them in the land of Edom? Because they're wicked, that's why. They've got more than enough riches now. Why don't they just go over, take their ass down to Mount Seir and start fixing it up, man? Why don't they do that? Because we're going to do it. So why ain't they going to do it? Because they're wicked. That's why, man. That's why verse 19, and they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plains, and they of the plain the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead. Now, let me go back to Isaiah 14, man. And I want to read about how America has to go, but then Esau's got to go as well, which I already read Obadiah 1 and 18 anyway. But I want to show that when everyone else is celebrating, Esau ain't going to get the chance to celebrate, man. Verse 20, thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Now, what's that mean? I think that's very simple and plain. The Edomites are not going to get the chance to bring their filthy name anywhere else throughout the rest of the earth, man. And that's just judgment from the Lord. America has to be judged, man. It has to be. And America is going to receive the judgment of Babylon the Great, because it is.